This is a live company dashboard, 7 agents running, 5 active tasks, an inbox with decisions waiting for my approval. I didn't write any of this code. I didn't configure any of these workflows manually. I described a company, gave it a goal, and let the system build itself. This is Paperclip combined with Claude Code. It launched 3 weeks ago, it already has 36,000 GitHub stars, and it solves a specific problem that anyone who's used Claude Code seriously has run into. You spin up 10 agents across 10 terminals, and within an hour, you have no idea which one is doing what. This video walks through exactly how it works, what you can realistically build with it, and where it falls short. Paperclip is an open-source orchestration layer for Claude Code agents, MIT license, free. The concept is straightforward. Instead of running multiple Claude Code sessions in separate terminals with no visibility between them, Paperclip gives you a single dashboard where every agent is visible, every task is tracked, and every decision that needs human approval surfaces in one inbox. The founder described the problem clearly. He was running 20 Claude Code sessions simultaneously, productive on paper. But when he came back after a few hours, he couldn't tell what had happened, what was in progress, or what needed his input. Paperclip solves the visibility problem. It doesn't replace Claude Code, it wraps around it. Agents. Each one is a Claude Code instance with its own instructions, tools, and role. CEO, engineer, designer, QA, whatever structure makes sense for your use case. Heartbeats. Agents wake up on a schedule, every 4, 8, or 12 hours, review their tasks in context, and continue working. This is what makes the system proactive rather than reactive. The agents aren't waiting for you to prompt them, they're running. Issues and tasks. Every piece of work is logged as an issue with a status, assignee, and history. You can see exactly what every agent is doing and has done. Inbox. Any action that requires board-level approval surfaces here. New hires, major decisions, anything the system flags as needing human sign-off before proceeding. Getting started takes under 5 minutes. One command in your terminal pulls down the dashboard and starts it on localhost. If you want it accessible from anywhere, including your phone, you deploy it to a VPS, same setup, just running on a remote server. The onboarding flow asks for 3 things: company name, mission, and your first agent. For the first agent, start with a CEO. Give it a clear mandate, not run the company, but something specific. Scale content output for this community without relying on the founder's personal brand. That level of specificity matters. The more concrete the goal, the more useful the agent's decisions. Once you confirm the setup, Paperclip creates the first task, automatically. Hire your first team member. The CEO agent wakes up, reads its context, creates a hiring plan, and puts a request in your inbox asking you to approve the first hire. You approve. The new agent, an engineer, a designer, whatever the CEO determined was needed, gets created with its own configuration. It reads its instructions, checks the existing tasks, and starts working on whatever's been assigned. The system grows from there. Each agent can create new issues, hire additional agents if you give them that permission, and request approvals when they hit something they can't decide unilaterally. If you've watched the Claude Code source code analysis on this channel, you know that Claude.md is loaded into every single turn of every Claude Code session. That context is the agent's long-term memory for a project. The most effective Paperclip setups use a dedicated Claude Code project that understands Paperclip itself, the architecture, the API, the heartbeat protocol, the gotchas. You give that project the Paperclip GitHub repository, let it read X to see how people are actually using the tool, and it becomes your configuration partner. When you want to add a new agent, extend a routine, or migrate the setup to a VPS, you ask the Claude Code project. It knows the system and produces accurate instructions because it's been given the actual source. This is the compound effect. One AI system helping you configure and expand another AI system. Each layer makes the other more capable. Skills are markdown files that define how an agent should approach specific tasks. They're the equivalent of a job description combined with a standard operating procedure. Paperclip has a built-in skills marketplace at skills.sh. The quality varies. Read what you're installing before you install it. The front-end design skill, the web design guidelines skill, and the superpowers plugin are consistently referenced by users getting real results. You can also write your own. If your company has a specific way of approaching content, client communication, or code review, write it in Markdown, add it to the project, and every relevant agent picks it up. Skills compound over time. The longer your system runs, the more precise the instructions become, and the less you need to intervene. After running this for several weeks with a real business unit, here's the honest picture. Visibility. Having every agent's activity in one dashboard is genuinely useful. The inbox as an approval mechanism works. The heartbeat system keeps agents active without you babysitting them. The ticketing structure means nothing gets lost. Every conversation, every decision, every task has a record. When you come back after a day away, you can reconstruct exactly what happened without asking Claude to summarize itself. Pre-built company templates are worth exploring. The GS Stack template comes with a full org chart. CEO, CTO, QA engineer, release engineer, staff engineer, all pre-configured with appropriate skills, starting from a template rather than from zero saves hours. The agents are only as good as their instructions. Vague goals produce vague work. An agent told to improve the marketing will produce something, but it probably won't be what you actually wanted. The clarity of the initial mandate is the ceiling for everything that follows. Memory is still session-based. Each heartbeat starts fresh. The agents read their context files and task history, but they don't carry the nuance of a long working relationship. Important patterns and decisions need to be written explicitly into instructions. They won't be inferred. Complex multi-agent coordination is early. Agents can leave messages for each other through the issue system, but real-time collaboration between agents on a single problem isn't seamless yet. Expect some redundant work and occasional missed handoffs. The Cloudflare protection on polymarket-style post requests and similar issues with other platforms means some agent actions that look like they should work simply don't, without a residential proxy or additional configuration. The most effective way to use Paperclip right now is not to automate your entire business. It's to automate one specific unit of a business, the part that is most repetitive, most defined, and least dependent on real-time judgment. Content operations is the strongest fit. Research, drafting, formatting, scheduling, repurposing. These are all tasks with clear inputs and measurable outputs that agents can handle reliably with good instructions. The analogy from the video transcript is accurate. You're the board. You set the goals, you approve the major decisions, you review the outputs. The agents are the team. They handle execution. That framing sets the right expectation. You're not removing yourself from the business. You're removing yourself from the operational layer of the business. That distinction matters for how you configure the system and what you ask it to do. Paperclip is 3 weeks old. It will look different in 3 months. The core concept, a persistent, visible, multi-agent orchestration layer built on Claude Code, is sound. The execution will catch up. The GitHub link, the setup command, and the CLAUDE.md template for Paperclip configuration are in the description. If you want to go deeper on the Claude Code internals that make this possible, the sub-agent architecture, the prompt cache sharing, the hook system, the source code analysis video covers all of that. Link in the description. Subscribe. See you in the next one.